Hey, Leo, intuitive soul coach here with your November 2023 career reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below your video. All right, welcome. This is good for any and all placements of Leo in your chart. And at the bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming here is a major transformation, right? Reinventing yourself from the inside out. So what I'm hearing here as well for you is a lot of you are under some sort of performance evaluation is the phrase that I'm getting here. You may be putting all of your skills, your talents, your education, your efforts on the table. You may be evaluated by maybe a peer, by a boss. You may be evaluating your own self and taking a look at, what's working, what's not, how can you continue growing, what classes, what learning, what education. And as we say that, you have the growth card here. So you may be negotiating a new contract because there is that death energy here of a major transformation. Now, I don't feel like you're going to be going through a rough patch. Some of you have already gone through that, but this is the month where you spread your wings because you literally have the wings card here. So for those of you that have been going through a little bit of a difficult period with finances, career, money, or beliefs around money as well, because you do have the pendulum showing up. So some of you have been wavering within your thoughts, your beliefs, your choices. I feel like that is coming to an end here. You're reinventing yourself. Some of you may have even been out of work. And if that is the case here, you are negotiating a new contract, I see. There's also something that you are negotiating within yourself, which is interesting. And I want to look into that here a little further as we go along. They're saying pull two more, and there's the two more. So yeah, you could be negotiating within yourself, right? Do I settle down for retirement? Do I put money into this, account? You may be shuffling some things around, some ideas, some beliefs, or some choices, because you also have here resign and retire. So if you are, I want to even say within 10 years, and a lot of you may be closer to the retirement, but if you are within 10 years of retirement, you're making some very big choices now that are going to be beneficial for you into retirement. I do see that happening here. So let's take a look and dive into your energy. Okay, some of you are getting approved for a loan. That could be the research that you're doing. That could be the ending that I see here showing up. If you have been putting yourself out there, remember in the beginning here, we talked about putting it all out on the table. You could be speaking to a professional is kind of what I'm getting here. Yes, if you go for a loan, you may be approved, but from this energy, I feel like everything that you lay out on the table, that performance evaluation, that's what's actually being approved. And you may even be approving of your own self, which you should always be doing anyway, Leo, because you're growing, you're evolving, you're learning, you're powerful. You're way more powerful than you give yourself credit for. So definitely that stamp of approval showing up here for you. And we do have some shopping in the mix. So in the month of November, you may be taking a look at finances, budgeting. Maybe you are gearing up for the holiday season. If you celebrate the holidays, some of you may be traveling and doing a little bit of shopping as well. You may also look into a retirement account or even a child's account. Maybe this is a child savings. I'm getting something with maybe health savings, education fund, college fund. And for others of you, you're just growing on all different levels because we see here the wings card showing up. And this is about rising above money issues. This is about a business taking off. If you are a business owner, or you are looking to expand your hobby or your side projects, some of you are profiting. And maybe you're not profiting as much as you would like to, but what's happening here in the month of November because of this death card is you are reinventing again the way that you perceive, the way that you take a look at energy. And you're realizing and understanding that everything is a reflection, right? When you look into the mirror, you don't say, oh, there's another me that's over there. You're actually reflecting back to you, and you're understanding that concept in a deeper way in the month of November. So that's an important message. So again, when you look into the mirror and you look at your own self, you're not looking at another version of you that's outside of you, right? You're just looking at that reflection that's being reflected back. And when you start to take a look at energy that way, and currency and money and your career, you're seeing that all of these projections are being reflected, back to you. So you're changing and you're really rising in your consciousness here, which I love to see. And this is spiritual work. A lot of you Leos, this is spiritual, could be spiritual based businesses, but for a lot of you, it is about understanding your connection to the divine, regardless of whatever job you have. This is life purpose. This is mission, and this is profit. You can profit. That is your birthright. Abundance is your birthright. So definitely rising above some issues that may have been a little bit of a setback. There could have been some anxiety. I am getting a small percentage of you feeling a little bit of anxiety around maybe the world, what's happening out there. But remember, it's all in a sense, a simulation. So we have the Rose card here. This is about financial relief. So yeah, rising above money issues. And maybe for some of you, that loan does have to do with something coming towards you that you've been working for. It could be that you've put out an application and now you receive that energy exchange. This could be a loan that you've applied for, right? It could be some sort of financial relief that you've put the energy out there and you're open to receiving. So there's reciprocity here. This is about you being content instead of having so much anxiety and fear. And I am getting here limiting beliefs and that fear-based energy for some of you, where you're turning that around. That could be what you are really seeing here. You're diving into some of the shadows. A lot of you have been going through some of the fear-based beliefs and energies, and you're saying, okay, this isn't helping. This is actually hindering. Planet Earth here is one of the most difficult, challenging places to be because we limit ourselves so very much. We are one of those civilizations that are very difficult because we actually put caps and we put limitations on ourselves so much, and that's part of what we are here to evolve and grow from. So trust here that you are supported. Trust that there is job security, and you have the growing card showing up twice. So some of you are growing a business, growing your account, growing your reputation, growing your connection with the divine. Really beautiful. Now you also have the pendulum. Back and forth, right? Especially if you're a business owner or if you work in a job where maybe you are paid for the work that you do. What is that called here? Paid on commission. Okay, some of you could be paid on commission. I do feel like this is a month where you're coming up with new strategies that are actually going to implement more growth, more abundance, because not only are you working with that energy, you're working on expanding your mind, which is going to help you in a very powerful way. And some of you, it could be a busier time. This could be some seasonal changes, maybe even some seasonal sales. That could be why you have the shopping here. If you are, maybe selling items, you could be putting a discount out there. Maybe you're putting, if you celebrate Christmas or any sort of holiday in November or December, you could be looking at savings. You could be looking at how to help people find you more, because I'm getting here this attraction energy, and I feel like other people are noticing. And actually at the top of this card, it does say bicycle rentals, t-shirt apparel. So some of you, this could be maybe you're buying a bike. It could be a motorcycle. It could be, maybe a fat bike or fat tire bike. Some of you are looking at maybe something on wheels. Okay, because I just seen the chariot here. Maybe you're looking at changing up your wardrobe as well. I also see that some of you, if you are negotiating, you are taking a look at how you feel inside and you want your outside appearance to match it. So you could be changing the way that you look. Maybe you're getting your hair trimmed. Maybe you're getting your nails done, trimming up your beard, mustache, whatever this is here. I do feel like there's a little bit of a change in appearance as well. But you're going to make some choices. This could be a job change for you in the near future. For others of you, you're going to make a choice here to stick to a more optimistic, reliable plan that works for you instead of letting so many limiting beliefs or fear-based energy creep in. Okay, just have to tell you what I'm seeing here. But I get that, yes, it's been spinning around, but you're going to embrace more of this uncertainty instead of letting it freeze you, right? We fight, flight, or freeze. And I feel like for some of you, there has been a little bit of non-action because of that fear. That's about to change. Now, you have the resign and retire. Some of you are definitely thinking about resigning, leaving the job that you are currently at to build more within you. You know that you've hit a glass ceiling in some sort of a sense here, whether that's a glass ceiling in the professional world, and that may be why some of you are retiring. For others of you, you've hit a glass ceiling within a business sector, within an organization, within your own business for some of you, and you're branching off, you're doing new things, you're seeing what is working. You're also, I see you're keeping up to date here, or you're learning about some sort of trend. But the beautiful thing about you learning it is you're actually sticking to your own truth and your own authenticity. So yes, it's great to stay up to date with what's happening and maybe utilize technology in the best possible way and, learn. You're open to learning, but I feel for some of you, you're just stepping into that openness, which is great. You are open, but you're staying authentic. You're saying, I don't want to change this piece because that's me. But you're also open on the other hand of, I can learn this and incorporate my authenticity out here. I hope that makes sense. So there's a little bit of blending happening here. And that brings me to the next card of negotiation. Maybe that's part of the blending. It can be about working together. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Three of Cups. I'm actually getting Three of Cups here, so celebratory energy. Three of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles as well. I am getting here, Leo, that you're focusing on your coin. You are focusing on your pentacle, balancing up some things here, negotiating contracts, taking a look at some pros and cons, some limiting beliefs versus some beliefs that may help you out more. And I just did a reading yesterday, I believe it was, that said all beliefs are limiting. And they certainly can be, right? If you take a look at that phrase, all beliefs are limiting, when we expand our consciousness, when we expand our mind, and we're constantly, shifting, evolving from each moment, we can really start to see things from many different perspectives. And that's when we make that quantum leap into different, different paradigms. If you want to have this position here, if you want to build this successful business, if you want to change your career and path, know that you have the power to say yes and do this. Okay. They're a little bit deep here for you. And then lastly, before we dive into your Celtic cross, stamp of approval is coming in here for you. I'm also getting that there could be something here within something you've applied for. I get that energy here. I've applied for this. I've applied for this relief. I've applied for this assistance. For some of you, maybe it has to do with child support, alimony, a loan, credit card. This could be whatever it may be for you. Something is getting approved here, and that could help you feel more secure. But I feel like you're not spending more than maybe what's coming in, or you're taking a look at finding a balance if you are spending more than what is coming in here. So a lot happening right away for you. Okay, so this is coming in quick. We're going to use all the cards here. But I feel like things may show up where it could be a little bit unexpected, or it just feels like it's coming in all at once for you. Let's take a look and get all of the cards out here. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, there's a Five of Pentacles going on in your environment, but I feel like you're releasing and letting go. Yeah, because your final outcome here, you're walking towards your ninth cup. There's a Seven of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, and yet we have a lot of Pentacles here showing up. You're letting your guard down a little bit with the Seven of Wands. Okay, so your overall energy is the Nine of Wands in the month of November here. So the Nine of Wands can feel at times like you're in that defense mode, fight or flight or freeze that we talked about earlier. This can be with this nine, having that final push, that determination, that discipline, that persistence, but you're getting tired. I see that here. There's going to be a little bit of time here for you to pause, recoup, rebalance your energy in the near future with this Four of Swords, because you have what it takes to resolve any of the conflicts around money, right? You're rising above the money issues here. So if things have felt a little bit challenging for you, Leo, this is shifting. But there was an instance here where I feel like you got stung because you have the Three of Swords, but it's in your past position. So some of you may have taken a little bit of a hit due to the economy, due to something raising, prices of food, prices of gas, prices in general. For others of you, there may have been a job loss. There may have been some sort of termination. You do have the Death card. Maybe you did go through this rough patch here in the recent past, but now you're coming out of it because 9 is, getting one step closer towards this new beginning. And this is a really powerful energy about you being brave and you being courageous. That is your energy anyway. I'm getting here that you've built up a little bit of a thick skin so you can get through anything, right? Scorpions, they have that type of skin anyway, I'm assuming. Being in the desert, you can see in this where, yes, he's going to find his safe zone, but he has what it takes to deal with those circumstances. And sometimes there's a dry period. That's what I'm seeing here for you. There could be a dry period. There could be a time here where it's important to reflect and go inward, right? Spiritual work, life purpose, mission. I also get something with a spiritual retreat for some of you. But I do feel like the Nine of Wands is saying here that even though you're getting tired of constantly shifting and constantly evolving and learning and trying and putting yourself out there, it can be exhausting work. You are changing the script here. It's about you not giving up, in a sense, not giving up on your dreams, and knowing that you are not alone, that you do have support, even when it doesn't feel like you do. Because the challenge for you, or the block, is this success, the Four of Wands. But it is showing up here in your energy, which means it's available, which means you can tap into it at any time. Tarot is based on, the energy of what's happening here for you now. We can shift that paradigm at any time. If we don't like what's happening here, tarot is that little bit of a roadmap to help guide. You're the one that decides to detour if you don't like what direction you're going in. So this is all about rest after labor. It's a challenge for you to maybe rest because you need to keep going. You need to put food on the table, pay the bills, take care of your family, and you just want some downtime. Some of you are working maybe multiple jobs. You're struggling at times to make ends meet, or you have this limiting belief system that is just keeping you imprisoned at times. But the challenge here for you is to allow yourself to rest, which I do see coming in here in the near future. Rest your mind, rest your body, rest those, thoughts or the racing energy that's going through a lot of you at times. This is about a homecoming and coming back home to the self. That's maybe a challenge for you, but because you do have the rising above and because you have that reinvention energy, this is the month where you come back to yourself and you say, hey, what am I even doing this for? Why am I running my, mind into the ground, my energy into the ground? Why am I letting this, in a sense, at times destroy you? Okay? Because I am getting with the Three of Swords, some of you felt like a person, place, or thing, or energy, or belief, it was getting the best of you. But you have the Four of Wands here, and this is achievable in this energy, in your energy, okay? But sometimes we feel blocked from it. Four of Wands is a beautiful card. It's one of the the best minor arcanas, I would say, because it is the card of 1111. It's the card of honoring each other, feeling that communal achievement, feeling part of something that's greater than yourself. For those of you that have been going through some struggles where you felt like you were the hermit or you felt like you were on your own, there is a homecoming type of energy where you're being offered to work for a company that treats you good, treats you with respect, treats you like family, doesn't just treat you like a number. For those of you that are entrepreneurs here, you have been working hard, I see. And there is a little bit of rest coming in for you, whether you're traveling, whether you take a little bit of time for yourself, maybe you take some, me time, whatever it is. I like it because you've been working hard, and then you're going to finish up here. You're going to finish strong. I feel like 2023 here, there is a strong finish because of your final outcome, which I like. But the Four of Wands is in your energy. Trust that you will overcome a block and you will achieve that communal energy and you will achieve that success, because this is about graduating to the next level. This is a milestone. This is about you being able to honor who you are on a deep soul level. For some of you, this can also be plans didn't go as expected, but it's to course correct you, put you on a path of, maybe deeper enlightenment. It could be on a path that there's more abundance. It could be more growth, but it's also based on what you are putting out there. Remember that mirror concept. So whatever is being reflected to you in your life at this time, Leo, and you don't like it, look deeper into that, because you have the ability here to shift that energy. So what's below you? What's the foundation? The goat, Six of Pentacles. Now we do see a lot of pentacles coming in here, especially up this side over here. So a lot that is going through your mind around success and finances and money. But the goat here is about just rewards. It's about generosity, but most importantly, establishing healthy boundaries, right? Equal give, equal take. Some of you may have been giving more than you've been receiving, or vice versa, right? Some of you are working hard with little pay, little compensation, but something here is going to balance out for you. Just like the beginning of, starting your own business. Maybe you're not getting as much out of it as you're putting into it, but that's part of the stepping stones. It's part of building up for, your growth. You have what it takes here to see that resources show up in many different forms. Money, time, energy, effort, all of that is showing up, and it may be that you're finally being rewarded for that here because you see it from a different perspective. And I am getting that shift here. Even though I don't see the Hanged Man, I do see a big shift. Okay, so you're going to have the just rewards. Some of you may have even felt like some sort of reward was taken away from you, or you felt like someone had approved, right, with the approval. They approved of your work. They liked it. You did a great job. And then when it rolled around the second time, maybe they critiqued, or they weren't on the same page, or it was just some sort of shift happened here, and I feel like it made you uncomfortable. But sometimes we need to deal with that uncomfortable in order to raise our vibrations, grow, heal, learn, forgive, and move onward. So in the recent past, you do have the Three of Swords. This can be an emotional storm, right? It can be the blues. You have the bluebird. Some of you just felt a little bit stuck, maybe even depressed. There could have been anxiety here around money, which we talked about. But this is freedom. And that's what I see here. You're flying from. You have the wings represented twice here. This is rising above money issues. It is about something taking off. But you must trust instead of getting caught up in what you do not have. Look at all the abundance showing up all around you in many different forms, because you are abundant. Remember, that is your birthright, Leo. And this does talk about freedom from strife, freedom from some of those, life challenges, some of the energies and difficulties. But the only way, past it is through it. And I feel like you've definitely gone through it here. Now, what you're manifesting or what's above you, you do have the Tasmanian Devil represented by the Five of Wands. So this Five of Wands, this is about no longer hiding from some sort of truth, or if there was someone in your life that was one-upping you in your career or in your money, or it just felt like they were stepping on toes to get someplace. Maybe there was a lot of competition, a lot of arguing, or just not being on the same page. There could have been a leader around you or a coworker or a client who didn't see eye to eye. And the Five of Wands, you are moving forward. I see this here. With this competition energy, I feel like there is a need to collaborate. Maybe it's not so much with this person, although it could be, or this entity, this energy, this organization, whatever it may be for you, but it's about collaborating within yourself, taking a look and saying, okay, what is this trying to teach me? This is a very teachable moment, and I feel like a lot of you are finding that sense of belonging and finding that sense of reciprocity here. So this is really big. Big energy coming in. Even though we don't see tons of major arcana, I feel like a lot of these shifts are happening within you. Now you do have the Sloth showing up as the Four of Swords in the near future, Leo. So this is about a quiet time for reflecting. Yeah, because someone may have did you dirty here, or there was just so much saturation in the market, maybe a lot of rejection, maybe a lot of conflict here. Someone didn't agree with your style, your work, or it just was disappointing. For those of you that aren't dealing with anyone in particular, this could be you just feeling a little bit blue, right? Feeling a little bit down on your luck or down on your energy. That's why you have the Four of Swords showing up here, to allow yourself to have a little bit of time to pause, to reflect, and to wait until the time here is right, the divine timing. And actually, when I was shuffling your cards, they were showing me the clock card as well. The clock card or the time watch. There it is. Yeah, they were showing me this in the shuffle in my mind's eye. And it says here, divine timing, seizing the moment. There may have been a waiting period, or there will be a little bit of a waiting period here for you, but it's not going to last long or much longer, because you are walking away from a situation that's less than ideal. I see that with your final outcome. Now, what you are telling yourself, Leo, Seven of Wands, your defenses are a little bit up because of some past letdown or experiences that you've gone through, represented by the gorilla here. And this can be about courage, which we're seeing here twice in your energy, and you are all about courage. This is about achievement, excuse me, but also it says self-sabotage. So for some of you, you're learning new strategies, new techniques to not sabotage success, not sabotage your own self-worth in a way. Remember what we said in the beginning about laying it all out on the table, being authentically you. This is what I need. This is what I want. Here are my boundaries. So you're being clear and you're setting intentions, and actually in doing so, other people respect you more. I like this. I mean, the gorilla, he's like the king of the jungle, right? So people do respect him. And I feel with you, you've had to maybe defend yourself. You've had to stand up for your beliefs here. Maybe you felt the pressure coming in with everyone, with the Five of Wands. You felt pressure to pay bills. You felt pressure from your family, from your coworkers, from your boss, to meet some sort of deadline, to work more, to work harder, whatever it is here. It was coming down on you, and now you're like, I just need to step back. Right? That's why you have the Four of Swords. Setting some healthy boundaries for yourself is going to actually help you achieve more. And again, people will look at you in a new way, with respect, with admiration. And they're going to say, whoa, Leo is very competent of the job that they are doing. We don't need to scrutinize. We don't need to second guess. We don't need to micromanage, because they have what it takes. And that's what I see you doing here, is you're putting out that energy, and now you're going to see that reflected back to you with how people respond to you in certain circumstances. Now, what's going on in your environment? You have the Five here. So you have a couple of different fives. Well, two of them, we should say. A lot of fours, threes, fours, and fives for you. A couple of sevens, but I don't mind, because your final outcome is the 8 here. And so you are overcoming, again, rising above the situation. You are shifting the energy from basically, the 3 of Swords here to the 8 of Cups, where you're walking on, leaving behind the old energy, the old paradigm, the old shift here. Remember, you do have that, well, you have the watch card, but you have that death card. You're reinventing yourself from the inside out. You've gone through a lot. You've lost a lot here. Some of you, maybe it was lost your home, lost your finances. There could have even been a loss with health, with body, and you're getting that back here because I feel like you're pivoting, you're making a new move. And this is about opening yourself up. And it does talk about loneliness at times. And maybe that's part of it here. On your way to the top or on your way through something, you felt like you had to do it alone or you were, isolated. But I feel like you're coming out here and you are walking towards more community, more happiness, more joy. You're walking towards that ninth cup, right? Your wish fulfillment. But in order to do so, there's something you're leaving behind. Yeah, you've gone through a dark night of the soul in a sense, Leo, when it comes to your finances. But the good news, well, we have a lot of good news coming in. You go from the 7 of what you are working on manifesting. You're pushing through those fears. And this is more than a fertile, abundant time for you. You're tapping into that unlimited abundance. You're tapping into that reserve within. It's within all of us, right? We're all a spark of that divine. And once you realize that you have access to this tap, which I'm telling you right here and right now, and you don't need me to tell you, you already know this on a deep level, you realize that anything is possible. And that really shifts the trajectory here. 7 of Pentacles is about constancy. It's about perspective and reaping kind of what you've sown. And I described this also came up, maybe it was Aries or Taurus's reading here, but it's like planting that garden. And you put all of the effort, all of the energy into, getting some fresh organic seeds, and you're excited and you have this plot and you've been rototilling the garden and you've been waiting for the timing, right? Because we have the watch energy coming in and the timing is right for you to plant the seeds. You've already done that and you've watered and you've maintained and you made sure that the weeds were not growing. And sometimes maybe there was a little bit of slacking, but for the most part, you kind of had to trust in external circumstances such as the sun, such as, the ground and the soil. And I feel for some of you, something wasn't right. It started to get a little bit rotten. Maybe you picked up one of those carrots or picked up something in your garden and it wasn't as ripe as you would have liked to have seen it. Right? Maybe it was that illusion of what you wanted your garden to look like, but over here, that's not where it was. And for whatever reason, you kept trying to make it work over here when clearly it's not producing what it is that you would like to see grow in your garden. So this could be a course correction. 7 of Pentacles is my course correct card. Are you continuing to put in energy into this garden when you're pulling up a carrot and it's this big, right? Or you are, going over to water the tomatoes and they're all rotting. And I feel like there is a little bit of a shift here happening. What do you want to grow? Because there's a new environment that's much more hardy, much more beneficial, and that's going to help you all around on a holistic level. There's an energy here of separation, an energy of disconnect at times, disconnected from yourself, disconnected from source, from others. That's coming back together here for you in November because the 7 of Pentacles is saying your hard work is going to pay off. It doesn't mean you have to completely go over here and plant a new garden, although some of you are, but you could be using some of that produce or some of, that energy to shift the ground, to shift the soil. Some of you, there is a physical move. I am seeing that, okay? You could be physically moving. There could be a new department you're getting transferred to as well. Whatever this is, you're moving on. 8 of Cups here is about seeing the truth of a situation. Maybe you have been putting a lot of effort into those tomatoes, hoping that you would go out there and see one fresh, ripe tomato, but it just hasn't been working in that manner. I feel like you're course correcting and you may see that over here, there is an opportunity here, but we're so focused on saving what we have right here. Okay, if you do things differently, maybe it's, adding some sort of soil to the nutrients. We can be focusing so hard on, the tomato itself, that we fail to see in other ways that we can implement new growth into that garden. I hope that makes sense here for you. So the Eight of Cups is about leaving behind or abandoning that garden. For some of you, maybe you've escaped, and maybe you need to put in more energy to other things in that garden. Maybe try planting something new. Instead of planting tomatoes each year that are rotten, why don't we plant some green beans or plant something else that, could have the opportunity to be very abundant? Maybe that plant isn't good for that, circumstance. So shifting up the energy here is what I see. It's all about perspective, and not necessarily escaping some sort of truth that is right in front of you. We're going to clarify this Eight of Cups showing up, because I am getting with this Eight of Cups, you're walking towards more growth. You're walking towards maybe even an early retirement for some of you. You're negotiating some new contracts, because you are walking away from a lot of this struggle, a lot of this strife. What do we have here? Justice. Beautiful. There's going to be a fair decision made here, fair judgment. If something was a little bit unfair in the past, it's going to work out to balance itself out. That's the law of cause and effect. So justice here. Some of you went in blindly. Maybe you're being called to trust in the eyes of the soul, right? This is about, Ace. There it is, Three of Swords, but you're letting it go here. It's in reverse with the Ace of Swords. Beautiful. Newfound sense of clarity around something that was unfair. Okay, if something was a little bit biased, I am getting that word here. It's showing up, bias. Some of you are based on your age, your sex, your abilities, something of that nature, even though you laid it all on the table. And what really hurt was someone judged you for it. Someone judged you for it here. And you're saying, well, what the hell? I was authentic. I put it all out there. This is what I'm made of. And I was willing to grow, and I was willing to kind of do what was asked, but it wasn't enough over here. Okay, and that's what you're shifting out of, because you're saying, even though I laid it on the table and someone else didn't appreciate it, it doesn't mean that I'm any less than. And that's something that's difficult to overcome at times, but I see you doing it here. So this is really powerful. Let's take a look, Leo, and get a message from the wisdom of the Oracle. I am seeing something with business, technology, online. Maybe you're building an online business. For others of you, I heard the word hospitality. So it could be you're communicating, you're reaching out, you're connecting to people. Some of you Leos, you're definitely either a people person, people pleaser. Wow, okay, some of you are people pleasers. That could be a limiting belief that maybe has disappointed you in the past. You still have a little bit of unfinished symphony this month, and it is card 1, but you're releasing it to start a new beginning. And I am getting here 11 energy, which is the month of November as well. Soul path, things are shifting for you in the month of November to align you more with that life purpose, to align you more with the spiritual work. So tie up loose ends is what the unfinished symphony card is. Whatever is still lingering out there, give it closure, because that Three of Swords is showing up twice in your reading, but the final outcome, you're letting it go. You're abandoning that Three of Swords. You're walking away from it. You're letting bygones be bygones. You are cutting some sort of tie with that Ace of Swords, and you may be cutting your losses and moving towards a new beginning here. So I like to see this showing up for you with the 10, because that Wheel of Fortune is the 10, and I do feel for you, your fortune is shifting here. So let's get a message from the Shaman's Dream. This is one of my new favorite decks. If you are interested in any of the decks used during your reading, you can find all the information in the description box below. All right, what does Leo need to know for career, finances, and money in the month of November 2023? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So, is someone a dental hygienist here? I'm getting here dental hygiene, or maybe some of you are approved for, working with a new dentist or a new insurance for dental. That's very specific. I know that hasn't come up before. So please take that as it resonates. Okay, we have Root Girl, the disowned self, card 46. Some of you may be 46 years old. Spirit is saying, pay attention. There's a very powerful message here. Now, I have not personally, this is a brand new deck, which I'm loving the energy of. I have not came across this this deck, or excuse me, this card, except when I first received it and was shuffling through, but I haven't read it. So it may be just as a important message for me as well as you, but this is about reconnecting. We talked about this, that sense of belonging. And the message here is about the need for acceptance and love. Root girl sits shivering, unclean and naked at the base of the tree of the self. She is unloved, unwanted, and shunned for her deformities. She has no home, but is safe burrowing underground to dwell near the deepest roots of this sacred tree. Who is she to you? Could this urchin be the one part of you that reintegrated can lead you to wholeness and true purpose? This is a part of you, the embodiment of a deeply flawed perception of your failures manifesting as guilt and shame. When you project envy onto others or any other emotion or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child self crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out, ignore it, push it aside, all the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. Ah, but if you would only look into the root girl's eyes and see the beauty and the unmet need, your unmet need, you would realize that this part of you asks for your compassion and understanding. This part of you was born when you were wounded and were conditioned to believe that you were not whole, that your expression of self is somehow too much or too little. You may have even inherited this creature from your ancestors. However, it was this child's self came to be curled up at the roots of your sacred tree self. It's time to welcome her into your heart. When you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated, and your path lights up with renewed purpose. When you come to love the root girl and claim her as your own, accepting her and your humanity, she is transformed just as you are. Then all manner of magic begins to arrive in abundant form. Look for the beauty. Wow, that is a deep, powerful message. I have goosebumps here. So for some of you with this, 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords, throw me a thumbs up, because we've all at times felt this abandonment, or this, part of ourselves that was wounded, right? This is that wounded 9 of Wands energy. She's the wounded warrior. This is about you owning it, owning that, yeah, there are pieces that are imperfect, but can you love the imperfectly perfect parts of yourself? That's really going to change the game, like it says here. That's when you tap into that well of unlimited love and abundance and compassion and wealth and success on that soul level. Everything you need is within you here. So it's time for you to come back home to you, is what I'm hearing. Wow. Now, last but not least, we're going to get a few messages from your spirit animals. And at this time, I just ask, if you can, Leo, please take a nice deep breath in from the solar plexus chakra, the belly area. And with your eyes closed, I want you to tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now, this could be an animal that flies high in the sky. Perhaps it's an animal that swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, magical, mystical, or even domesticated. This could be an animal that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, or one that's visited through your dreams. There is no right or wrong answer, Leo. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, All you need to do is drop your power animals in the comment section box below, and I personally will enter you into the giveaway where I draw one winner on the first of each month and post right back here on the channel. So please make sure you've hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification. I am loving your animals here, Leo. First up, you have the eagle. Eagle spirit, and it says spirit has your back. Spirit does have your back. You are part of the divine. You are a part of, a soul group, a spark, right? That's ventured off to have an individual experience. That's why we have the ego to separate in a sense, but knowing on a soul level that we are all interconnected. We all come from, that's the oneness. And so for a lot of you, this is part of an actualization, a realization coming in. Even though you've heard this, you've heard people talk about this, I'm sure. But have you truly went within? Like that root girl says here, right? It is part of you. Can you embrace it? You are this month. Now, eagle spirit has your back. This is a sense of freedom, liberation. Some of you want to work remotely, work from home. You could be getting a job or shifting into that energy if that is a goal of yours. You may be 37, 51, 68, or born on the 23rd. Now, next you have wombat spirit. And I mean, you can't make this up. It literally says be at home. Be at home within you, which represents what we've been talking about here. That sense of, all of you. Acceptance is a big energy showing up here. And even though this is a career reading, all of these factors play into your money, your abundance, your wealth, your career, who you are, what you do to make a living. That's why this is a little bit deeper. Maybe it's too deep for some of you and you want more of the surface. Maybe this isn't, the reading for you. But I do feel like these are powerful things to look into if you really, truly want to shift the way that you perceive and attract money. You have here sandpiper spirit. Be playful. Be playful. We take this life here on earth so seriously. Like I said, we are one of the most challenging civilizations that limit ourselves. We need to be more playful, right? Have more fun. Enjoy what you're doing. Joke around. Love yourself. Focus on being limitless. Okay. And lastly, I love your final card here. Lo and behold, it is the lion. Lion spirit says, be generous. Be generous to yourself. Be generous to this little root girl inside that may be, or a little root boy, right? Whether you're female or male, it doesn't matter, that has disowned the self. Be generous and come back to that center. Come back home. Take a little bit of that Four of Swords, that time out. Because otherwise you're going to reach that sense of burnout or exhaustion. Many of you feel already there at times, but I see a lot of happiness here for you in that ninth cup. You're so close to it, but sometimes we don't feel like it's possible. But remember, the word impossible itself spells I'm possible. And that is your message for today, Leo. I'm possible. I want you to tell yourself that each and every single day. That is what I have for you, beautiful souls. I hope it helps and hope it resonates. If so, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It certainly does help get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. And it certainly helps the growth of the channel, which I greatly appreciate. Again, I would love to see your power animals. Drop them in the comment section box below and hit that subscribe and bell button if you haven't already. Thank you so much, Leo, for being here. Lots of love.